Hi, my name's Levon. Welcome to another episode of Restaurant Secrets. I know I say this every time, but I'm so excited about this week's guest. He's a chef who's built a distinguished culinary career across fine dining, corporate catering, and entrepreneurial endeavours, which has led him to become the Executive Business Development Chef of ELIOR UK, one of the largest UK's contract caterers. Welcome, Chef James Minton. It's an honour to have you at
Thank
the
you so
ClayOven
much.
kitchen.
Absolute pleasure. Honestly, I've been so excited about this when you mentioned it, so I'm really keen.
Oh, yeah, it's so excited. I saw you prepping earlier. It looks so good, some of the things that you're going to kind of show us today. Are there any, these tips and secrets that you've, picked up over your vast culinary experience? Like, what are you prepared to share with us and the viewers today?
We're going to do a scallop dish on the Robata grill. We're going to do a really nice, quite a classic, simple dish, but lots of flavour going on in there. So we've got some beautiful scallops come down from Scotland. Wow. We're going to use some chicken skin, which we're going to crisp up just to give a little bit of that extra flavour. Scallops, we're going to show you some seaweed butter, which is amazing, bit of a game changer, I think. It brings a real nice umami note, sort of saltiness, takes that flavour profile a bit different. Cauliflower, so cauliflower is going to be a big part of the dish. So we're going to use the leaves, we're going to use the stalk, we're going to use the florets, we're going to use everything on this.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Good, no waste.
No waste, no waste, no waste. So I love that, I love that, absolutely do. And even with the scallops, we'll take the roe off. We'll talk about what we can do with that as well. Okay. So let's start with the cauliflower, I think. We talked about how we're going to use every element of it, so if we just instantly just get these leaves back. We'll put these up here. These are going to be shredded and deep fried anyway.
Yes.
So they give a really nice sort of, almost like when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you get that seaweed.
Yeah.
That sort of consistency and everything as well.
Nice crispy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a really good use of it because a lot of times all this just gets thrown in the bin and it's such a crying shame how much food is wasted in the UK.
Yes.
What we want to do for the grill is we want to just cut down and then we're looking to get some florets that are going to have a bit of stalk on them still, so they'll hold on the grill, because obviously if you break it down like this, it's just going to fall through the grill, isn't it? Yeah. We'll use those for our puree though. Let's just cut down, keep it to about that thickness. There you go, you see the seam coming out now? Yeah. So that's kind of what we're looking for, these beautiful florets that will hold nicely. And then this stalk, leaving that bit because it won't work, just go straight in, and this is what we're going to make our cauliflower puree with. And this is a great way. Cauliflower is so underutilised. I think a lot of people think about cauliflower, and they kind of think back when their mum used to cook cauliflower, it was just boiled in a pan for like 10 minutes, and there's no flavour to it or anything like that. Cauliflower holds flavour amazingly. Especially with like curry flavours, spices like that, goes really well with it.
Especially for the growth of vegetarians, you can it's got a nice meaty texture as well that can be utilised.
Which is, you're seeing this a lot, cauliflower steaks, aren't you? You're seeing that so much more now as well. And I think you mentioned on the vegetarian element there, for me, I almost think a dish shouldn't have to be labelled vegetarian or vegan. It should be so good that it stands up in its own right. It just so happens to be a vegetarian dish.
You're not trying to recreate fake meat. You're actually just, the beauty of the actual product itself.
We've got a few florets there, so we're going to take all of this trim and we're going to put this in the pan. We'll get those leaves off. And this is what we're going to make a little puree from. So into here, we're going to add roasted chicken stock, so we roast the bones, all the vegetables, etc., get that colour on it, and we're just going to add that in. You can see the gelatinous of that as well. It's come out, and we're going to get this going. And we'll just let that cook away. And then what we'll do towards the end, we're going to add a little bit of cream to this, we're going to season it up, and that flavour's going to reduce into it, and we'll puree it with a little bit of truffle oil. Oh, wow. Cauliflower and truffle, stunning combination. We're just going to look at these leaves now. So we're just going to peel away. For this, we'll use the actual leaf, and we'll just get some of these off. And as I say, quite simply, we're going to just really finely shred these.
You avoid the stalks?
Yeah, we can use the stalks. So the stalks can go into all sorts of things. Obviously, really good if you just roast them on the Robata, put them into salads, little roasted cauliflower stalks, fantastic.
Oh, okay. I think we're going to roast on the Electric Robata today, I think. So
yes,
nice.
Which I've had a go on the electric one. I'm telling you, I was, is it going to be as good? But it's amazing.
No, I'm so happy you came down. I know you needed your electric, really? And then, we'll show you guys how awesome our Electric Robata is.
I'm really
the product
impressed.
That comes off it. It's quite special, really.
So you can see we're just sort of finely shredding this up.
Yes. Yeah, it does have that Chinese restaurant seaweed.
Yeah, and you wait once you've fried this and it comes up with that crispiness and it looks exactly like it. So we'll have this, and as I say, we'll get the fryer on, and we'll just drop them in, and then we'll season them when they come out, leave them on some blue roll, and we'll have them ready for later for a bit of a garnish. You can smell that now as well, that chicken stock, the flavour and all that, all the flavours that have gone into that stock. You know, stocks are great. You can, again, this is all about the wastage, isn't it? If you've got you roast dinner, you've got your carcass left over, let's make a stock from it.
Use it.
You know, absolutely use it. It's just a different level to all those powdered stocks that you can get and all that. So definitely worth it. So we're going to use some chicken, and we talked about crispy chicken skin.
Crispy chicken skin.
Which
lovely.
is, yeah, one of...
Everyone, again, people discard chicken skin quite often. It's something you've got to... That's where the flavour is, no?
It's such a shame that in the supermarket, chicken in there, 90% of the breast and stuff obviously haven't got the skin on because, well, it's obviously gone into other products, which is such a shame. So it's always worth getting skin on quality chicken breast. We use a great butcher's local to us, and I'm a big avid fan of local suppliers, wherever you are in the country. Obviously very aware of the fact that some people think, you know, a restaurant could be based here and then you're going to get all your produce from 10 miles of it. It just doesn't happen, you know. Certain things grow and rear in better places than others, but as long as you're sensible with who you source and stuff, I think it makes a world of difference to your dish.
Yes.
So, we're going to look at chicken skin. With this, we've got here just literally 2 thighs, right? Well, we've got some thighs, but bit Blue Peter-ish. I have peeled some skin off beforehand.
It's something we made earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
We've used that before here a few times.
So we've got 2 thighs. These are just bone and chicken thighs, everything.
Yeah.
And all we want to do is just get this skin off.
Okay.
Right? So we're just going to peel it back. It comes off that easy. Super, super easy. Again, on the Robata grill, just some flavouring and cook them away. They're amazing.
A bit of a rub, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And on the bone as well. I love the chicken. I love meat on the bone generally.
Yes.
Because I think it just adds so much more flavour as well. I'm a big fan of that. Also a big fan of slow cooked meats because you get so much flavour out of them. It's incredible. So these, the thighs, you can see if you just peel it apart, because you will have a sort of ring where it's gone around the thigh. You just peel that apart. We'll use all of it. Now you can do 2 things here. You can give them a scrape on the inside just to get any excess off. You know, and then you will get a really, really good crisp on it as well. But sometimes when you're rendering that fat during the cooking process, you can pull that fat off it. And again, you can use that for we use dishes where we render the fat from the chicken, so all of the stuff from the thighs, we render that off, and then we might use that for brunoise, like when we're cooking little fine dice of veg in a dish or something like that, and it's got that chicken flavour into it. What we will do is we're going to season these up. So think a little bit like pork crackling as well.
Yes.
We've got some nice flaky sea salt. We'll give it a good rub so it just crumbles up a little bit, extracts more. So, season up. That's all we need to do with this. It's literally it. Grease proof on the top of it, and just do that. Then get another tray. We put it on top, press that, so we just put a bit of weight on it, put it in the oven.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to roast beautifully. It will roast in its own little bit of fat. It will come up crispy, glorious.
Wonderful.
And there's so many things you can do with that.
Like how long roughly? And what
So
what
we're
temperature?
probably, I always suggest keep an eye on it, you know, because everybody's oven's got their own personalities.
Yes. Yes.
But keep an eye on it, but I reckon you're probably looking 20 minutes. But like I say, just you're not going to do anything wrong by taking it out.
Having a
and
look.
looking at it. Yeah, exactly.
Have a look. Keep an
If
eye.
it's just swimming in fat, you can take some of the fat. You know, if you've got really fatty skin, you'll be fine. But you can do so much, and we're going to use it as a garnish on our scallops today. Another thing that I love doing with this is blitzing it up and putting it through butter.
Okay.
So like a softened butter, so you get like a crispy chicken skin butter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my days.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Honestly.
Like,
Yeah, just even a bit of warm bread.
Salivating thinking
Slap
about
it
that.
on. Oh, dear. It's ridiculously naughty. I'm just going to add a bit of cream to our cauliflower puree now.
Okay.
So we've just got a classic double cream. We're just putting a bit in, and then we'll let that come down again even more. Also a bit of a believer in the fact that when you do desserts, that's a chemistry. You need to be using your recipes, things like this. When you're doing things sort of more like this, I think you can eyeball it. You know, I think you should be tasting these as you're going along, checking it. You know, cauliflower also makes an awesome puree. You'll see it goes super silky, super lovely. Other things like celeriac as well, those things, they all make really good purees. We'll season that at the end just because, although the chicken stock is only lightly seasoned, the more you reduce it, the more intensity that seasoning will get. So if you over season it now, it's too far.
Just would, again, taste as you go.
I want to just quickly show you. So I've got over here melting, just some of the seaweed butter.
Oh, wow. This is actual seaweed.
Yep, so this is nori dulce. So we've got here some dehydrated seaweed sheets. So we blitz that up into a sort of, not quite a powder as such, you know, it's still got a bit of chunk to it. You could probably blitz it up a bit more. Soften some butter and we put it through. It just takes it to that next level. And then we will brush the scallops with this as well.
Oh, amazing.
So
that's wonderful.
So we've got some scallops, which are out of the shell already.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely fresh scallops. Literally came in yesterday. On the scallop, we've got three things here. We've got the roe, obviously the scallop meat, and the mussel is on there as well. So, you know, they're good size, decent scallop. This is the roe that we've got here. And this here, you see this bit down here?
Yep.
That's the mussel. So that's the bit that holds it all together in the shell. So it's so easy. So we're just going to gently peel that roe off, and there'll be a little sinew that goes around. So we'll take that, get to the mussel, and then just pull the mussel back as well.
Just by hand,
not
just
cutting. No, gently by hand, and then you put it round, and then you'll get those three elements. And then you can
utilise the mussel as well, or
the mussel you can use, but I tend not to. To be fair, the roe. So the roe, if you dehydrate this, right? So you can just use a dehydrator and just leave it until it goes proper dry. You'll see sometimes they can take a bit longer than others, especially if they're really plump. But they'll just shrivel up. They go really dry, and then you can powder them. So you can blitz them in like a coffee grinder or something like that, and you get a beautiful scallop roe powder, nice pink powder.
And you finish that with
exactly. You finish things with it. You can put it in sauces. So many things you can do with it. But
again, typically that would get thrown away.
So many people just throw it away. It's such a shame. So these, obviously, the scallops and things like that. If you're doing them at home, these can be prepped in advance. You can get them sorted, sitting in the fridge.
I feel lazy. I'm not helping you.
Don't worry. This is the smelly work.
Good effort. You're doing a good job.
Yes, thanks. That's all I need. A bit of moral support. Yeah, there's lots of different ways you can cook these. So when we do it, even on the robata, you could just do them straight on the grill like we're going to. You can put them in like a skewer, going through them, so then you can just turn them easily and do a lot of them together.
What typically would you serve scallops with, or just typically be more on its own as like a starter? Or
I think the beauty of them is they're so good. You don't need to do, lots and lots and lots. Start with a good quality one. Don't start with, these frozen. I'm not a fan of those personally. Let's just get fresh. We've got some beautiful produce around the sea. Let's use it. Let's make the most of it.
Sure.
And also it doesn't matter where you are. So I'm based in the Midlands, and I think literally where I'm from is meant to be the furthest point from the sea. And I'm sort of sitting there going, well, I can still get amazing produce, because you can pick up the phone to these suppliers now in Cornwall, in Scotland, or wherever you want to be, and they'll have it with you the next day.
Amazing.
Which is, it's great. There's no excuse to be, cutting corners.
So when did you first start cooking? Is it been something since childhood, or when did you realise you wanted to get into the culinary world?
I think I was really young, really, really young. So even as a tiny child, we used to mess around in the kitchen, me and my neighbour. We were like concoctions, we'd call them, where you just put like loads of really random things together. Half the time they would taste like absolute literally, mud and cocoa pops or something like that. But then I sort of really realised, like my mum used to make homemade yoghurts and things like that. And I remember ringing my grandma when I was probably about 6 and saying to her, I said, what's a Yorkshire pudding recipe? And I know, you look back at it now and you go, oh, it's a Yorkshire pudding recipe. It's quite straightforward.
For someone of that age, that's really...
That's what I mean. I just
impressive.
I thought it was quite cool. I obviously went through the whole thing as a child, where you sit there and you go, oh, I want to be a vet. I want to, because I love animals. I want to do this. I want to be a player for my favourite football team and all that. But then I realised, no, I'm going to be a chef. I remember I worked at a restaurant in the town I lived in. I started as I think I did pot washing to start with, then when I was a waiter.
Earn your stripes.
Yeah, exactly, as most people do, just to get in that kitchen experience. And, I was obviously school and everything in those times. And then I think a job came up. It was a job in the restaurant I was working in. And I loved the head chef there. He was, I had a really good bond with him, and I wanted to do it. And I remember my parents going, obviously we'll support you in whatever you want to do, but you realise the hours that have to go into that, and the work and what you're going to miss out on, events and stuff at that age.
You don't quite realise that at that time, do you?
Yeah, I think that's why they're there, aren't they? As parents, are there to sort of open your eyes to things that you don't see as a youngster.
You don't listen.
Yeah, exactly. But the head chef, Simon, he came around the house, and I remember sitting there with my dad saying, look, it's a great career. What he misses out on this, he'll make up for other things. And I've been lucky, I've cooked so many places, or not just in the UK, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've never looked back. And I think the great thing is it's one of those industries as well where you never stop learning.
Yes.
I think there's somebody can be a master of the craft, but in certain areas, like it might be, I'm not going to name trades, but they might be like, you kind of reach that point where you do know everything.
Thresholds.
Yeah, but there's always something new coming up in catering. I mean, you look how we cook now to how we used to cook 30 years ago. So different, these techniques and these flavours, and you know, there's lots of inspiration from all around the world, which wasn't as much
coming in, and travel, and
which is another great thing when we talk about diversity in the UK and different cultures coming in. We learn so much from these people, and it's how can that be a bad thing?
Yeah.
You know, I was lucky with Simon as well as a mentor of mine, because he spent time in me, nurturing me as well. So, you know, I've always tried to do that with others as well, because we have to, because eventually we'll run out of bodies otherwise.
No, it's great you're sharing that knowledge,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you're sharing today with the viewers. It's
Yeah.
But doing that is something.
Well, this is just a pleasure.
But it's our duty to pass on to the next generation.
Because we've got lots of flavours going on with chicken and truffles and all this sort of good stuff going on, and seaweed butter, we're not doing too much to this cauliflower. We're going to season it, but I'm also just going to brush it with a little rosemary brush, just to add a bit of rosemary flavour to it. And just keep it... Exactly that. Because that
The
will
nice
be sitting...
caramelisation on the grilled bars.
Yeah, do the shouting itself. Let that do the shouting. So, cauliflower puree, I reckon we're 3 minutes off that. So we've got some chicken skins out now. So they've come out. And this is exactly what they're going to come out.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so you can
Golden.
see proper crispy chicken skins. But we're just going to run a knife through them and just crumble them up a little bit.
That'll just add a really nice crispiness to complement the softness of the scallop.
When we cut them down like this, you don't get as much of that crispy bite as you do as a big piece, but you get that roast chicken flavour coming through. You know, think a really sexy surf and turf scallop of roast chicken. I mean, come on.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So we're just going to, as I say, break this down, shred it down, and then we'll just put a little bit on those scallops when they come off as we're serving it. A little pile on top.
So you're saying your cooking has taken you abroad. Are there any particularly exciting places that you've cooked abroad?
Yeah. So we went to. Cooked at the British Embassy at Vienna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was...
the dignitaries.
For the Prime Minister, Tony Blair at the time it was. So that, again, was with Simon, my first head chef. He was so encouraging in sort of like taking you out to do events and things like that. And as much as it was great going over and doing our stuff, you're in the kitchen of the British Embassy. You're talking, I think the head chef was Wolfgang, if memory serves me right. You know, and you're learning things from him as well.
He's a client of ours, actually.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
There you go.
A few of our Rabatas.
So,
oh, amazing. That
yeah,
must have been...
I mean, that was, as well, we're talking, well, I don't want to say how long ago it was, showing my age, but it was about 25 years ago, I think. So, chicken skin, that's ready for when we come to plate up later. So we have also done, in the background, Blue Peach style again, we did this cauliflower. So the leaf. We talked about the leaf, didn't we?
Yes.
So what we've done is we've got the fryer on out the back, we've dropped it through, we've then put it on some blue roll just to drain off any excess fat, seasoned it up a bit, but you can see that now. You know, it's a beautiful sort of crispy...
Yeah, and the colour's popping still, it's still got a lot of the green.
I mean, I will say as well, you get the leaves we had, they weren't as vibrant green as they sometimes are, so, you know, there are some whiter leaves through it, but you can see.
Yeah.
It's really good. And it just had another little bite and dimension to it. I reckon we can probably puree this cauliflower. Let's get this in. I mean, you can just smell that. I mean...
Yeah, no, I love truffle.
It's great, isn't it? And as I say, with cauliflower, it's such a ridiculous combination. So simple.
Yes, yeah, but they do marry really well.
Yeah. Is that in? So it doesn't take long to blitz up. If it's too thin, you can add some more of the cauliflower. If it's too thick, add a bit more of the juice. So you can see how sort of silky and smooth that's coming out now.
Beautiful.
So, perfect.
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm dropping your cable now.
That's all good.
Did you say this is your wife's?
That's it.
She's not going to be happy with me.
Sorry. So now we're over by the Electric Robata.
It's time for the hot stuff, and I'm not on about me and you either.
That's it.
So we're going to do the cauliflower now. So I talked about earlier, we're going to keep this quite simple.
Yes.
So we've got a little bit of olive oil, we've got a little rosemary brush that came from my garden this morning.
Oh, great.
But I realised over the winter I've been overindulging in my rosemary, so the bush is now getting smaller and smaller. So it's not the best rosemary brush, but it will do. And we're just going to brush over our cauliflower on the one side, then we'll put that on oil side down, and we're going to get this on like really hot place to start with. So what we'll do, we talked earlier about the Robata having those lovely levels that we can sort of sear, you can do a bit slower, resting. So we're going to get this on the hot spot and get some colour on it, both sides,
Yes.
and then we'll just bring it up and it'll have to sit there. It's going to take probably a good 12 minutes, so we'll get this on and then we'll come back to the scallop part of it. I mentioned to you last time I was here, things with Robata grills, I just find they make you want to cook.
Yeah,
you want
I love
to
when
just.
you said that. Yeah,
It's like you just, you see
draws
it.
you in.
It does, it does.
very intuitive.
Yeah.
It's utilising the levels. You don't need to adjust temperatures. You know that going further vertically up, you're reducing the temperature.
And I said to you before, I mean, you can see that already.
Yeah, straight
you know.
away, seconds.
It's just colouring up beautifully. And we want to get that char on it. I said to you when we used this before, I was amazed at the heat that this kicks out from an electric grill. It's absolutely brilliant. And I have no issues at all if somebody said to me now, use an electric Robata, because there's situations where you can't use gas, you can't, all these other options of coal and stuff. And these now fit any environment, which is brilliant.
And so many different types of cooking. So as long as it's, grilling protein or vegetable, it's,
Exactly.
that's it.
You hand roll each coal.
Yeah,
here,
the lava stones.
But the lava, I mean, that's incredible. You'd never think of that detail.
Yes,
It just makes me
yeah.
think of me in a kitchen making bread rolls. It's, that detail gone into it.
It is totally handmade. Everything is made here at our 40,000 square foot factory here in Perivale, West London. So that's something that we're very proud of as well, that
Absolutely.
it's all made here.
And I think, like when I've cooked on these before, like if you're using things that've got the slight element of fat and stuff, because you've got the electric on the side and you've got the lava rock on the bottom, the fat drips on, you get that charcoal barbecue flavour going through it.
Burnt fats, yeah.
Yeah, people sometimes think electrics is going to be like an electric grill, it's just going to be, but it's not, there's so much more. It's very clever how it works.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
So we'll leave them up there now.
Lovely.
And they'll just cook slowly.
Great.
We'll give these a few minutes just to do their thing before we get the scallops, because obviously it's a very different cooking time. Scallops will not take long on here at all. Right, so cauliflower on the back.
Yep.
You can start seeing that colour on there now. It's really coming through. We're just playing with the different levels. One's a bit thicker.
Softening up nicely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we've got our seaweed butter, which we talked about.
Yes.
We'll give them a little brush on top now, and then we're going to put them on the side that we've brushed them. We're going to put that face down. So that butter will sort of just help it a little bit from not sticking. It will give it that flavour. We'll get it dropping into the flames. You'll get that burst of flame going up. It will be exactly what we want.
Wonderful.
And we're going into quite a hot, look at that, straight
Oh,
away.
Wow. Actually it's that hot, you get the ignition of the flames.
Oh.
Amazing.
It's just, again, it's just giving it that little, it'll help sear it. Look at the, there's no sticking in this at all as well. It's just, I haven't had to do anything really.
That hot, and they're stainless steel bars, so it's that temperature. Having the grill at 450 degrees centigrade allows the stainless steel grill bars to not be sticky, which is amazing.
I mean, just look at that
Yeah, they
colour.
look fantastic. And again, that colour from electric.
I was just about to say that. This is an electric grill. It's incredible, isn't it? Don't think I've ever seen one as good as this, electric.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that does mean so much.
This sort of almost flavour profile that you get, from a Robata grill. I think it just brings so much more to the party.
And the fact you're cooking on all the levels as well, so you're utilising all the heat that's being generated by just different horizontal cooking levels.
It's not like a barbecue at home, is it, where you've got like just the one area? You've got all this extra area, as you say, in a small footprint. I mean, what's that took? 2 minutes, if that. So, we're going to plate up.
Yeah.
The good bit, and then you get to try it.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait.
So what I have done is puree we made earlier,
Yes.
cauliflower truffle puree. So we're just going to put a little spoon of puree.
Yeah.
We'll put 2 spoons either end. You can see how silky this is. And we're just going to load them up onto the cauliflower puree. So you can see it's just pushing that puree out a little bit. So we've got some of our cauliflower leaf that we shredded down, deep fried. So I just want to put a little bit of this in the middle. I said to you just before we started filming, I think I should have brought a larger plate, but so
No,
it might look a bit cramped, but it's still gonna taste good.
It tastes good, but it does. It still looks beautiful as well.
Right. Then we've got our cauliflower. It's got that beautiful caramelisation we talked about. I'm going to use the smaller pieces. So these have got that little rosemary brush on them as well that you saw us do on the grill. Got our crispy chicken skin. Again, a bit more texture. Keep adding texture, flavours, layers. We're just going to put that on top of some of the scallops. Just let it dribble over. I'm not sure I should say dribble. Is dribble a good word when you're plating up? I don't know.
It looks fantastic.
And then we're just going to garnish it with a little bit of red amaranth here that we will just put on top of our cauliflower.
Adds a bit of colour.
Bit of colour, bit of a finish. There we have it. So we've got seared scallop, we've got a cauliflower and truffle puree, crispy chicken skin. And then in the middle, we've got different textures of cauliflower. So we've got the robata grilled and we've got the crispy shredded leaf using all that cauliflower up.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
so
amazing.
I hope you enjoy.
Now's the time. It looks too nice to eat, but I think we've got to do it. No?
You've got to get in there. You've got to get in there,
please.
You got knife and
All
fork.
right. No, thank you.
I hope it's okay.
Oh, it's cuts through beautifully.
Should do, shouldn't it? It should, yeah.
Trying to get all the different elements onto the fork. There you go. Oh wow. It's beautiful. The way all the different elements complement each other.
The char you get off that grill, it's literally coming through, isn't it? On the cauliflower, on the scallops, everything.
I'm just going to keep on. You carry on talking.
Yeah. No, it's a really good dish. And I say, obviously, bigger plate would have been great, but the biggest thing I like about it is we've used up that cauliflower. You know, there's nothing wasted. So we've got the roe from the scallops going into something else. Again, I can't rave enough about that electric grill.
Oh, thank you. No, just saying that sear, that caramelization that you get across. But I really like the idea of the chicken skin, dehydrated, roasted chicken skin. You get that, roast chicken flavour also complements the
You do, it comes through after, doesn't it?
scallops
Just
with the cauliflower.
can't be that bad.
Sorry, there's not going to be left. There's not going to be any left for you, Ken.
We've got extras.
We can have it all. We've got some extras. Wow.
Yeah. Really enjoyed that.
So thank you so much for coming here today.
No, anytime. Thank you for having me.
It's an honour. So I was just thinking, it must be amazing with your work, the different places that ELIOR operates in the UK. With you're saying arenas and.
So within my role within ELIOR, we go into new businesses when we're bidding on it. So we'll go in, have a look at what we feel the food fit should be for that place, put menus together, propose it to the clients. But it could be anything. It could be stadiums, it could be concessions, through to education, to high-end solicitors in London, to offices in Manchester, airports.
There's such a wide variety. It's really
Absolutely. And it's great. And we're seeing, I'm not just saying this because we're here at your place now, but the Robata grillers, we've started putting that into sites as well because we think it just adds another way. A kitchen doesn't have to run on a frying pan and an oven. And I think there's so much you can do with these new bits of kit that are coming out that it's brilliant for us. Brilliant.
Great. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for coming. It's been an honour. And I look forward to seeing you again.
Loved it. Thank you.
Cheers.